Hello, hello. It is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for this Moon Astrology Tarot. For the moon in Taurus, this is February 14th through the 16th. This, this may be the most ungrounded, exalted moon in Taurus. So normally the moon, well, I shouldn't say normally. The moon is exalted in Taurus, right? It's its happy place. It's the place that it loves to be. Um, what puts a spin on this moon is that all of this concentration in Aquarius, right? We have the sun, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, and right as this moon shifts into Gemini on the 16th, we will have Venus. So by the 16th, we will have what, five Sun, Mercury, Mars, five planets or cosmic bodies in Aquarius. Aquarius is air, it's intellect, it's innovation, it's visionary type energy. It's also communities, humanity, and the greatest good for humanity. So, and let's not overlook that, right? So, but the moon being in Taurus, Taurus is an earth sign, which is about material possessions and money and whatnot. So, but also we want to not neglect that it's about the earth and our earthly presence here. And so when I say it's the most ungrounding, it meaning you could feel like your head is in the clouds. You could feel flaky. You could feel anxious. You could feel nervous. You could feel dizzy. You could feel like you have vertigo. Um, all of these things because of just so much boom, boom, boom. And what the actual fuck is going on in our world, right? Because there's so much change happening at once. So when I say keep yourself grounded, what do I mean by that? I say that a lot, but I also acknowledge that some people are either new to spiritual work, you're new to me, you're new to whatever, and you just happened upon my video, or you've known me for a long time and you hear me spout it out and like, okay, Sarah, whatever. So what do I mean by that? We have to remember that at the end of the day, we are spiritual, energetic beings in a human existence or a human experience. We're in earthly bodies. And I was thinking back to somebody that I met sometime last year or something, I don't remember, but and her saying that she was a star seed and that when I asked her about her astrology, she said, well, I have a borrowed chart. And the reality is we all probably have a borrowed chart because we kind of borrowed a human existence, right? We're here on like a limited time, right? However, her saying that kind of suggested to me that she doesn't want to acknowledge that she's human. And so when I talk about being grounded, and I know that we all know we're human, but do we know what that really means? What that really like, are we really connected to the earth and our earthly experience? Right? We're so kind of wrapped up in the day-to-day 9 to 5 shift work, busy doing this, busy doing that. Got to get this responsibility done, got to get that responsibility done. But are we actually like feeling this human existence? Are we feeling the earth? Do you look at the trees and appreciate them, or are you just pissed because the leaves fell on your lawn and you now have to rake them up? Or are you annoyed by the birds in the morning because they woke you up or they're loud or whatever? Or do you appreciate the song that they're singing? Things similar to that. So when we talk about being grounded, it's really about being connected and being a part of this earth that we're living on and being a part of our bodies, right? What happens when people surprisingly get like a new diagnosis, for example? They're like, I had no idea, I didn't feel unwell, blah, blah, blah. Well, the question is, did you feel unwell and you just like you know, okay, so when I was working years ago, like more than a decade ago, I was working full time and I'd have like these allergy flare-ups, right? And so my boss, it was like, well, do what you got to do to be able to come to work, even though I'm like completely nasally congested, I'm coughing, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, take whatever you need to take in order to be able to come to work because you don't have the sick leave to be off. You don't have, we need you here. And so I would take like whatever over the counter allergy stuff and I'd go to work and I'd feel so completely lethargic, foggy, bleh from taking all these medications to attempt to like, yeah, okay, it cleared up my allergies, but all it made me want to do was sleep. The same thing with pain, right? Like anytime I was in pain, my boss was like, well, you need to do something about it because we need you to be able to work. And I thought, how ass backwards is this that as opposed to caring for my health and at the time I was in my late 20s, the lack of concern for my actual health and well-being was overshadowed by we need you to be at work. We need you to be here. We need you to do your job. And while I respect that I'm supposed to be here and do my job, I felt like that was why I saw my colleagues in their 40s and 50s and 60s now on like a complete list of prescribed medications and dealing with all kinds of medical this and medical that. And like, I just thought that that was ass backwards. So here we are going through this, deconditioning, deprogramming process, right? That's going to last years. And maybe some people are very new to this and you're like, oh, I don't want to feel like shit in 20 years if you're in your 20s and you don't want to feel like shit in 20 years. This is where you get to be the disruptor and be like, okay, I'm going to, feel these discomforts of my body so that I can respond versus be proactive versus having to react 20 years from now, where like, people that are 20 years older from you, 20 or 30 years older from you are already at, right? So that was kind of my experience of joining the workforce out of graduate school was I saw the other side of that where my colleagues were, and I was like, no, that is not happening. That is not happening. And so ultimately I chose to leave the job and I have zero regrets whatsoever. So when I talk about being grounded, what I mean is feeling your entire body, feeling it, understanding it, excuse me, feeling the discomforts and responding to them, right? But also like connecting to the earth, feeling yourself or visualizing yourself rooted into the earth. This could be as simple as sitting in a chair and planting your feet on the ground and sitting up tall, which I'm terrible at posture. Um, it's actually something I've been working on, is my posture. This could be laying flat on the ground or your bed or a yoga mat and feeling every part of you that is touching the floor and acknowledging that you are a part of the floor, the bed, the surface that you are either seated on, feet planted on, or lying on, and feeling that, right? Feeling that, and then feeling where there's discomfort, or feeling where things feel good, or feeling like, oh, maybe I need to work out more. That would be me. um, or feeling what doesn't feel okay. And so when we talk about being grounded, it's really like most of us are so up in our head. And I'm not talking about the crown chakra, I'm talking about in our head space. We're in our mental headspace. We are going through the to-do list. We're going through the shopping list. We're going through the kids need this, and we're going through the pets need that. The husband needs this, the wife needs that. Got to do this for this person, got to do that. Blah, we're going in like all these directions and we're never stopping to actually feel into the presence of being on this earth. Okay. And so oddly enough, like we have this moon in Taurus, it's going to, obviously it's going to square, it's going to create tension between earth, where the moon's at, and air, intellect, mind, where all these other planets are, where all this other concentrated energy is. Okay. And it's not really a battle of who's going to win. They're both, we need both elements. We need intellect, we need air, we need earth, we need grounded and stability. But because we have so much concentrated energy over here in Aquarius with Pluto, Mars, Mercury, and the sun, we're really being knocked off of our, it's kind of like like topsy-turvy. If you step one way, you're going to fall that way. If you step the other way, you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, what am I thinking of? Like a pogo ball? Is that what's coming there? But it feels like something like that. Remember pogo ball where you like stood on either side of this ball? And some people were really good at it. I was not. But I tried and I enjoyed it. But think about like a spinning top, and as long as it's moving fast, it's going to stay on its top. At the moment that it slows down, it falls over, right? And so anyway, as we're moving through all of this with this concentrated energy in Aquarius, I really feel like it's important for us to understand and remember, honor and respect that we are energetic beings living in meat sacks, living as humans on this earth. And are we on a borrowed astrology chart? Probably. Are we star seeds from another, star system? Or maybe. But either way, whether we are or are not star seeds, we are currently living a human experience. And we have to be fully in this human experience and slow the fuck down and, check in, put your feet on the floor, turn your phone off, set limits on your notifications. I literally have my phone with me all the time. I'm constantly on my phone. And the other night I sat down to watch The Sound of Music, and I was kind of proud of myself because my phone sat there the whole time and I didn't touch it. I was so into the movie. But that's what I'm saying, like being present, right? Mute your phone, turn your notifications off, do not disturb, have some time limits on things. If you think about like technology is great, but I've lived in houses where had zero internet and I slept like a rock. And I lived in houses where there's a device, all those home devices, we'll call them that, in every room. And I needed assistance just to sleep because I was like, my system was so wound up all the time. And that's what can happen when we have a lot of technology and wavelengths and stuff like that around us, is that we get nervous, we get anxious, we have unsteadiness about us, and we can't unwind, we can't calm down. And so hence why so many people are on so many different things to help them sleep. And I'm no exception. I use oils to help me sleep, or at least to relax and unwind. And right now we've got so much going on, not only with our astrology, but we've got our sun is very active with solar flares, solar sunspots, and things like that. It's like flooding our planet with light, which is why so much of the, when you flood something with light, what happens? All you can see is a shadow. The shadows get revealed, right? And this is the whole thing with Pluto in Aquarius. So I feel like I might be bouncing all over the place. Highly recommend checking out Suspicious Observer here on YouTube. I have learned a lot, and I still don't know a lot about solar activity, but I know there's a lot happening with our sun right now. And it's important for us to acknowledge that, there's things that are creating a lot of this, a lot of these high level nervous responses in our body, right? So anyway, I hope that helps you understand getting grounded. You can obviously listen to grounding meditations. You can use root chakra meditations because our root is how we root into the earth. You can do visualizations where you sit in a chair and imagine there is roots coming out of your seat and rooting you or pulling you into the ground, to help you remember to root in. Eat root vegetables, onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes specifically, are good potatoes. Beets, I think beets are a root vegetable. If they're not, then I'm lying and I'm sorry, but you can look up root vegetables on your whatever searching thing that you're using. I've been using OpenAI and I'm really loving it. And my friend was like, I can't believe you're late to the party. I'm like, I've been late to every technological party ever. I was late to Facebook. I never did MySpace. Anyway, I digress. So root vegetables, you can use wood oils, or wood fragrances, or like go out and touch a tree. Like I said, go out and touch a tree and remind yourself of that tree and what it's providing for you. Listen to the birds, be around animals and that kind of thing. So anyway, okay, hopefully that kind of helped. This is the first quarter moon square with this moon in Taurus. So again, we've got, first quarter moon squaring Aquarius. So we do have tension between the earth energy of Taurus and the air energy of Aquarius. But a lot of it is like, there's just rapid change. And it's a matter of just staying with it, rolling with it, control what you can control and let go of the rest and all of that. So also finances, money could be affected. There's definitely the potential of a financial system shift very shortly. I don't know when it's going to happen because I don't know enough about that. But I do know that Taurus does affect finances. And as this moon exits Taurus and moves into Gemini, it will immediately trine Venus as she enters Aquarius. And then we will get like the Gemini moon. Gemini moon could be fun. But anyway, so for this Taurus moon, just be advised, like supply chain things, financial things, all of that. And I think I said it in was it the 2023 to 2024 video, or even in my practical tools for 2024? I think I said somewhere in all of that, everything you thought was secure could become not secure or not stable. So you really have to find it within yourself to be stable. So, and please understand that I'm not outside of this. I'm in it too. I'm dealing with it on my end, as well, with my own emotions, my own situations and circumstances, my own thoughts and downloads and things like that. Remember, I'm an Aquarius sun with a Scorpio rising. So I'm kind of flaky all over the map, and I'm like, bring it on. Like, I feel like I've been waiting for a lot of this change like my whole life. I never felt like the system that we lived in was stable or sustainable. And I can just look around at myself versus like, other people's situations and be like, how the hell are we in the same boat? My situation's completely different on paper from yours, but we're in the same set of I don't want to say problems, but like in the same set of issues. There we go. In the tarot, Star Trek Next Gen Tarot, we have the Knight of Cloaks upright. I forgot who this is. I know it's a Romulan. Knight of Cloaks upright. Knight of Cloaks. Cloaks is wands, which is fire. Interesting. When we have earth and air. But we have that North Node Chiron conjunction coming to an apex soon. I forgot what date that one is. That one exact on the 28th? Either way, that one's happening in Aries. So Knight of Cloaks. Well, knights are about honor, honoring your fire, honoring your ambition, honoring and going after what you want, knowing that you've got the intellect. Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. Mars means you could be driven by intellect. And an exalted moon in Taurus, like, what are you, I mean, back to the whole transmuting conversation of like creating something on this earth, right? Like we can create it in our mind and journal and all of those things, and those things are important, and meditation and all of that, and those things are important. But this is kind of I feel like this might even be like the doing all the spiritual practices but not creating something tangible, or not creating, not living an earthly life. I think that, yeah, like right, like there's all the spiritual practices in the world, but if you're not like doing earthly life, right, like you've got to do something more than just meditation, journaling, crystals and oils and all that. Like I'm all for all of that, but I have a freaking earthly life, like, right? Like I still have to interact with people. I still have to be earthly responsible and create something tangible to, be passionate about, to, you know what I mean? Like I crochet, like that's one of my things. My hobbies is I crochet. Anyway, I feel like this is all about like honoring uh and creating, the thing that fires you up, the thing that is your passion, that's of the earth. Um yeah, let's see what the oil is. Watch it be like a citrus oil. It's kind of funny when the cards are like completely different than what I channel and talk about. Like, and yet it's connected. It's all because we have like 5 bodies, right? We have our physical body, which is our body systems. We have our emotional body, right? We have our mental body, we have our spiritual body, we have an energetic body. So we do have like all of these things going on with this one frame. Like there's all these things going on within it. It's a pretty magical thing if you're, and I remember taking like physiology and anatomy when I was in one of my school programs, thinking, damn, like you want to understand the magic of God, just go study the eyeball, go study the heart, which I still couldn't tell you anything about the heart. And I studied so hard, but I still couldn't make sense of how the chambers of the heart work. But that's how fucking brilliant God is that like what our eyeball can do, and yet how easily it can be damaged, and how fragile the eye can be, but yet the eye and vision is such a, right? Like think about it. We live in like such a sighted world. Of course, I think about this because I'm legally blind. And I know a lot of my audience is also blind. But we think about like how visual we have become, or how much obviously we rely on our heart, or we wouldn't be doing life. Lemongrass alleviates and regenerates. Yeah. Been drawing a lot of lemon lately. Didn't we just get lemon eucalyptus the other day? So I did say it was going to be a citrus thing, didn't I? Lemongrass, but I think lemongrass is more of like the greenery of it. Anyway, alleviates and regenerates. Yeah, because, as this North Node Chiron conjunction continues to build, it's literally inviting you to, because they rise above, but that doesn't feel like the right thing to say. Again, and so many times I've said it, like acknowledging that you're wounded and doing the damn shit, doing life anyway, right? Like, we can't change our past. We can't change the person we were, but we can create and tell the story a different way, right? We're in this like metamorphosis process where we're basically in like a cocoon, a caterpillar cocoon about to graduate to butterflies. And the butterfly is beautiful and colorful and brilliant and all of those things and provides beauty, if only for a short time. But does the butterfly even have a clue what the caterpillar was doing? Like, do they even, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it the same? I don't know. Could be just shooting out my mouth on that one. But my point is that like whatever you were doesn't have to be who you become. So anyway, this was a pretty deep one. I really want to make these shorter, but they keep getting longer. So thanks for tuning in. And I hope it's making some sense. I hope you are understanding the information. There's also just a lot of energy and a lot of different things to talk about with all of this that's going on right now. And so I don't know. I feel like I should apologize for them being longer. And I also don't, because I feel like a lot of people are reaching out for this type of content and are wanting more of it. And so I'm happy to be here on YouTube providing it. So anywho, happy moon in Taurus, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.